Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1 of The Curious Musician. Today's topic, practicing in opposites. Every aspect of a piece of music falls somewhere between two extremes, loud to soft, high to low, short to long, and so forth. And wherever you decide to play on that spectrum determines what kind of message your music communicates to an audience. But sometimes when we're practicing, it can be easy to forget to make any decision at all. I'm definitely guilty of this. Sometimes I'll have a busy day, and when I do finally get to sit down and play the horn, my head's not in it. I just kind of play through the notes, decide that's good enough, and I move on to the next thing. In that case, if I were to take what I just practiced and present it to an audience, they wouldn't hear any message because I didn't prepare one. All they would hear would be all the unanswered questions that I left floating in the practice room. So here's where practicing in opposites can help. If you notice that you've been practicing something over and over and over and over and over and it never seems to improve, chances are you need to approach it from a different angle. And what better way than to totally turn the music on its head? Take the instructions written in the music and do the opposite. If it says forte, try it once pianissimo. If it's written short and fast, try it once long and slow. Really explore and stretch the boundaries of your musical voice, and in doing so, you'll automatically start to make statements with your music instead of leaving it sounding ambiguous. You'll also gain a better understanding of why the composer wrote the piece the way they did instead of some other way. So in the practice room, here are some of the ways that I've been exploring opposites. Now, I'm a trumpet player, and it's no secret that when we see Fortissimo written on the page, we get a little excited, and then before you know it, you have too much of a good thing. Take, for example, the trumpet lick at the beginning of Strauss's Don Juan. It's written fortissimo, but if I were to play as loud as I could in the orchestra, I would have nowhere else to go dynamically for the rest of the piece, and it wouldn't sound very good. But if I play it once at my softest dynamic, since I can't rely on volume anymore, I have to follow through with my air and use style and articulation to communicate the character inside the music. Then you just build your fortissimo relative to that sound, instead of trying to force it. Another fun thing you can do is invert intervals. Consider these measures from Mahler's Fifth Symphony. By turning the contour of the line upside down, I can still practice and ingrain the character and the sound concept that I want, while at the same time negating a lot of the bad habits I may have built up by driving this piece into the ground. What I can do is rewrite this passage with all the intervals flipped upside down, more or less. Another way to achieve this is what I'll call opposite rhythms, or inverted rhythms. Consider the opening to the Ravel Piano Concerto in G. Now for me, this one in particular is tricky and very easy to over-practice. The only note values in this excerpt are quarter notes and eighth notes, with one exception of a half note tied to an eighth note. So I realized that I could rewrite the passage switching all the note values. So where there were once eighth notes, I would put quarter notes, and where there were once quarter notes, I would put eighth notes. And now that you've heard some of the ways that I like to practice, I want to hear from you. Did you find that any of these methods helped you, or did you come up with your own way of practicing opposites? Either way, post a video of yourself playing your exercise either in the comments of this video or on the Curious Musician Facebook page. Or you can send a video directly to the Curious Musician using Facebook Messenger. Those of you who submit your videos by March 25th will have the chance to be featured in the follow-up to this episode. And even if I can't feature everyone's submissions this time, I will still receive and comment on each of your videos. Thank you all so much for watching and for being curious, and I'll talk to you all soon.